Choosing the correct car seat for your child can be confusing, and this is compounded if your child has additional needs. This short film provides advice and information for parents and carers. With me today is Mick from Windmill Special Needs. Some children with additional needs present challenging behaviour or have an urge to escape from their car seat. From your experience, Mick, what advice can you give to parents when they're thinking of buying a car seat?
I would say the first thing is to try the car seat before spending any money. Just to make sure it's the right seat, and to try the seat in the car to make sure it safely fits the vehicle. One of the critical things to look at is the harness correctly adjusted? For a forward facing car seat, the harness should be level with or just above the shoulders. If the harness is below the shoulders, it's a lot easier for children to slip the shoulders through. We also need to look at whether the child is wriggling free or whether they're actively undoing clips and buttons and escaping that way. A child that wriggles free but doesn't interfere with the red button on the harness, there are mass-produced products like the 5-Point Plus, which is designed as a mainstream product to help keep children in their mainstream car seat.
If you have a child who is still escaping from their car seat using that kind of device, what other options are available?
Well, my first choice is always to try and keep the child in the car seat, because I want the protection of having this hard plastic shield around the child in a crash. But unfortunately, if the child isn't in the car seat, it doesn't, irrespective of how well made it is, it doesn't actually work. There are a number of specialist harnesses available, which will sometimes fasten to a high back booster seat or sometimes directly to the vehicle seat. One of those are, for example, made by a company called Kralling. They do a variety of harnesses available on a mail order basis. For children that can escape from a Kralling, we have what's called the Unisafety Easy Travel Magnet Harness, which uses a magnetic release button and is virtually impossible to escape from. Whenever we're using an additional harness system, the vehicle should always have a seatbelt cutter in it in case of an emergency.
If your child requires a 5-point harness and they exceed the normal limit of 18 kilograms, are there any seats that would allow the child to travel harnessed up to 36 kilograms?
Yes, there are. There are a range of special needs seats available that will go to 36 kilograms, and some will go beyond that, some to 49 and some to 75. An example would be the one you see in front of me, which is an adaptation of a Britax car seat that a specialist company in Germany has added a larger harness to, and this is critically important, and then re-crash tested it. We can't just add a harness to a car seat.
And how about seats that are available for children that have postural needs?
Again, there are many special needs seats available from a variety of manufacturers and suppliers. We may, for example, want to look at something that we can tilt in space, so we can lean it back more, because a child with a floppy head may not be able to keep the head up. We may want a car seat that's got thoracic supports on, which are designed to keep the child's trunk in an upright position. We may wish to put a foot plate on to support the legs. One thing that is becoming more common is for parents to buy a headband to go across the child's forehead. I'm not aware that any of these have been crash tested, and in my view there is always a safer alternative to using that particular piece of equipment.
Some parents get confused over specially designed harnesses and car seats. Can the harness be used instead of a car seat?
Yes, for some older children we can put a harness directly to the vehicle seat. For younger children, I do like that protection of having the protective shell around the child.
So car seats for children with special needs can be quite costly. What funding is available to help parents, and who should they speak to for advice?
There are a number of national and local charities that will help funding of car seats, and I believe there's a list of them on your fact sheet. The Motability Scheme, the national scheme that actually supplies vehicles to the parents of children with special needs, they themselves have a charity department that can help with the funding of the car seats.
So do you have any other tips for choosing a car seat for a child with additional needs?
If possible, I would always recommend that the child's therapist is present at the assessment, just to offer that little bit of help and advice on the postural support the seat is offering.